AeroGauge. If nothing else, it's got an exceptionally cool name, in my opinion. I believe this is a racing game, and I've never played it, which is becoming a theme recently. However, I do remember reading a review of it in N64 magazines of the era, and it was roundly classed as pretty shocking. But I love futuristic racers like WipEout and Extreme G, which is a great game on the N64. Games of that ilk, so I'm quite looking forward to playing it. This was released in 1997 from Locomotive Limited. So, well, obviously goes Hornet, because he is the green one. My favourite colour. Yeah, it received really poor reviews at the time, but who knows? Okay, so first impression straight away, I think it's a good sense of speed. Kind of reminds me of F-Zero, actually, mostly. Out of the games listed previously, I think it's similar to F-Zero. I wonder if you can go on the... Can you go up the side here? Yeah, you can. That's a bit like, did you ever play Roll Cage on the PlayStation 1? Where you could do that. Well, it handles quite well. Graphically, it's not bad for the N64, I don't feel. You know, it's very clear to see what's going on everywhere. The environments are quite solid. I'll be honest, I'm not really seeing the huge issue with the game so far. It's exactly what I would have expected. Feels quite fun to play. Don't know why I'm not racing against anyone. Is this like a little qualification round to maybe check what place you start on the pole, maybe? I'm not sure. There's quite a lot of popping that you can see happening, but that's no big deal to me. That was quite common with the N64. The draw distance wasn't great on the system. Usually a lot of fog going on in the background, which you can see here, but I think there's worse games that display that than this. But yeah, I remember being quite interested in the game when it came out, but it was, obviously I was a young kid at the time. In 1997 I'd have been 11, so I weren't buying many games myself, bar for birthdays and Christmas with any monies that I got, so it was a big decision when you know, was choosing what game to trade in some games for, or if your mum and dad were getting you a game. And I was led by reviews because we didn't have the internet then. So computer video games and, you know, places like that, it was for me what I would base my decision on. Games Master, etc. And N64 specific mags too. And yeah, this, I remember this got really bad reviews. You know, we're talking like sort of 2 and 3 out of 10. I'm sure I remember that quite vividly because it was on my radar because I like this type of game. I have to say one thing though, obviously I'm racing against other people here, I'm not catching them up at all. I don't know what that's about. If you look at me on the radar, I'm clearly in the last. Okay, I was just checking the buttons then, so I did brake by accident because I wanted to see if there was a boost or anything. So that little area there where it goes green, it looks like that's like a pit stop because it removes any of the damage that you've accrued, I think. Look, there's something I'm missing because look how far behind everyone I am. I don't get it. I think I'm driving reasonably well. Strange. Do quite like them tunnels where you can spin and go upside down. It's quite fun. Yeah, it's not bad. I think one of the big things with these is, do you get a sense of speed? And I think you definitely do with this. They've nailed that. For me, anyway. I mean, I'm not going to go out there and say it's one of the best of its type. WipEout is better, F-Zero is better, Extreme G is better. All of which were on the N64, when I come to think of it, because WipEout did have a port there. But that doesn't mean AeroGauge is a bad game. It's okay. I think it's quite fun. I quite like the fact the difference it has is that you can almost, well, there's no almost about it. You can go up ramps and sort of take off like a ship once you've built up enough speed. So you see, I'm not just hovering above the ground. I'm flying, which is a little bit different to the other games. So that's its USP, I would say, is the fact that you can take off, fly, presumably, sort of fly over other racers and land in front of them. Not me, however, because I was a million miles behind anyone else. I don't want to do this level again. Let's have a look what the other options are, just to see if there's any other environments or anything like that. I think we've seen enough of that one and heard that music long enough. The one other comment I'd like to make, which is weird, but I think it needs calling out. I love the font on the logo for AeroGauge. I think it's really cool. Chinatown, Bikini Island. Let's go with Bikini Island. Let's be the big boy, this big orange one. Which looks a bit like the sort of tank-like thing that the Marines are in Aliens, albeit in orange, and with a spoiler. So this handles, obviously it's a lot slower, but it handles better around corners. I think this level's a little bit disappointing. On the picture it looked like it was a really sort of lush, beachy place with palm trees and stuff, whereas so far it's just been tunnels. It's quite fun doing that. Okay, so there is a beach over there, but you see it for about a half second. Don't know how many maps there are. I hope there's more than was shown on the screen there, because I think there was 4, maybe 5. It's a little bit disappointing. I'm assuming they've got like mirror mode and stuff on them, but even still, you would hope for a bit more. Hopefully there are some unlockable tracks. I would assume there has to be, as that's not really enough. But yeah, I don't think it's as bad at all as I'd been led to believe by publications of the era. I would say, if you're looking for a futuristic racing game that's exclusive to the N64, give it a go. This isn't on any other system, it's exclusive to the N64, which I always think makes me more intrigued about it. Like, you've got to try it out. You only can play this on the N64, so give it a go. You'll have a good time with it. It's a bit of fun. I've no idea how you actually beat the AI on the game, but that's probably more because I weren't going over the boost correctly or something like that. But yeah, I don't think it's that bad. There are far worse games on the system, and you'll have a good time with it.